Unite there. Getting on top of Squirtle early is important, and slowing that thing down is even more so.
And look at the value here of Leafeon. We see game 1, game 2, how impactful this Pokemon is, able to do a lot at level 4. Charmeleon, on the other hand, not as powerful until it hits its level 7 Charizard, and especially when it hits its level 9 and it has its Unite move.
Feeding a lot into Vitopo right now to make sure that they can get there quickly. It's a 3v2 here. Zinus is taking out and finally evolving into the Armourouge, maybe sandbagging it there for a second. And let's see if they jump into the fray here. They're waiting for a Nebo to put the pressure on. The Rock Tomb is out, doesn't trap anybody, and the peel is going. Mega Mewtwo Y is trying to hang tough, and they do. The knockout on the Nemo is a good one. Zinus is still trying to figure out how they can get to Vitopo, but it's Draken getting the big spread off him as they have to retreat. Zinus is there. Tempo runs for cover. And now Peru has to kind of turtle up around their goal zone.
You have to love that play there from Peru, trying to bait them in so that they could catch them in this Rock Tomb like they just did to Tomato there, but they weren't able to make it happen, and instead they gave up the KO on that Leafeon. That's beautiful for Zeta. They're even closer to their level 7 on Charmeleon, which will give them Charizard.
Peru already showing what their strategy of this game is going to be. Trap in the Rock Tomb, get in there with Armourouge, finish with Zacian or Leafeon. Zeta Division knows what's up now, and they need to play around it.
Here we go. Charizard has hit Thea Sky Ruins here. 2 more levels until they have that ultra powerful Unite move. Ron just punishing Draken right here. It doesn't look like they're going to make it back to their goal zone. They go down.
That was a tough look. Again, Draken is going to be the facilitator here for Peru, and it's going to make it slightly more difficult for Peru to engage these 3 Pokemon on the side of Zeta Division.
Look how well these 2 teams know each other, recognizing where they are hiding in that tall grass as we have the fight about to break out here. 5 members of Zeta ready to go.
Draken eyeing up a Rock Tomb here. Can they trap anybody? No, they actually pin Tempo back, and now Tempo's caught. Vitopo goes for the burn down on the backside, and Nemo at least sorts out 2. Make it 3 as the War Turtle goes down as well. Vitopo's fading back. Tomato is running caution here. Draken X Scissors doesn't get the clip into the wall, and now Tomato and Vitopo are looking to turn the tide. Regirock is getting worked on. Peru Unite definitely has the presence and pressure. They're on top of Tomato. Big time knockout follow-up. Regirock is going to go to Peru, and they are starting to cruise.
You saw how desperate Peru was to take this fight.
Oh, another good Rock Tomb.
Over to 9. Massive Rock Tomb right here, looking for another KO. They pick one up on Tomy, moving in for 1 hero, and they get another. The points ran into this bottom goal zone. They could have a perfect overcap if they can make it happen, but Mewtwo Y moves in.
Can we get a trap here by Draken? A good little Rock Tomb follow-up knockout. Tempo gets a Charizard Unite pop and burns down the grass type, and that's well written in the history of Pokemon that's how that typing works. Tempo in deep water. Bliss Assistants tried to follow up, eject button out. Tempo pressure on, they can't quite get frozen by Tomato, who's incredibly low. They finally get the knockout, but Vitopo's still on the chase of Kea. Running covers the rest of the team, and we are now safeguarded out of there.
What a back and forth fight. They were fighting on that goal zone so long that Charizard was able to head to their central area, pick up a little experience, move over to level 9, and come in with that massive Unite move. But Bliss Assistance right back the other way, keeping Zacian around. Now that Char is going to need to look for some wild Pokemon so they can charge their Unite, but Anemo has theirs ready to go.
Boom, Emerald 2-step eject button out to fade that knockout, and a good look. However, we've lost sight of Tomei. Tomei being level 9 as Blastoise is important, as Peru is still trying to score on this base from goal zone, trying to close it out. Ram finally hitting Mega, using their Unite move, doesn't really hit anybody, but Tempo staying in the pocket. Wajiro with the nice follow me. Tempo trying to use their Unite move, and they are, on a sliver of HP.
Unbelievable limit testing there from Peru, and this is what we talked about with their support core in Draken and Kea, right? Able to allow their carry players like Tempo to make plays like that, where other teams would not be able to. Tomato right now trying to punish them for this goal zone push.
Draken, Rock Tomb doesn't find anybody. He's going to take the long way around and try to drag Zeta Division's attention. Draken is getting low, gets frozen, caught. X-Scissor into the wall here. Tempo goes right in, tries to pop the Unite move. More rubble rousing. The follow me doesn't see anybody. Taking to the skies and burning down the metal type is that Charizard. Draken goes down as well. And now Zeta Division has control downstairs. Bliss Assistance with the deep engage. Emerald 2-step. Suicune Unite back the other way, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. We're spinning to win. Here is Tomei. A Nemo pinned back against the wall. Kea trying to stick in pocket, and it's a Nemo taking over. They're going to get out of dodge. And this is a win for Peru in that exchange.
Unbelievable moment there for Peru as Leafeon dives in for the possible secure with Razor Leaf. The Bliss assistance finds it, moves through like an absolute wrecking ball,
from a different
taking
galaxy.
The objective. Amazing stuff, and that is what you can do with this level of coordination. Leafeon should have its Unite move back online soon, earlier than Charizard, if I remember right, and that's going to be great for the next fight from Peru. However, if they give Charizard enough time, it's going to have their Unite, which is one of the most powerful in the game.
Oh, another safeguard pickup by Kea, and like I said, this support core is so important for Peru Unite success. Zinus is now seeing 3 players from Zeta Vision pivot towards them, and they actually have to give up their buff in the central. Zinus is now seeing 3 players from Zeta Vision pivot towards them, and they actually have to give up their buff in the central so they don't get knocked out.
Yeah, we have Zeta extremely aggressive here, and we have an Emo deciding that they are going to break this tier 1 goal, so they're aggressive here, and we have an Emo deciding that they are going to break this tier 1 goal, so they're up big, 11 to 185, as Zeta is trying to even up the scoreboard a little bit. Typhoon doesn't make much happen, but Char does.
Snatched up, burned down quickly. We're getting a back cap the other way, and Peru Unite's okay. Anemo late to the fight, but looking to make an impact here. The Moonlight is up, the Moonlight goes down, Emerald 2-step is back, and we've used the Rebel Rouse at the same time. Can they push away Zeta Division? Can they get a knockout? Tommy's stuck behind the Razor Leaf, and it gets a ton of damage in, but they still pump, spin on top of Draken, and now we're back on the goal zone. Peru Unite is getting smothered and covered out here by Zeta Division. Now the score lead is shrinking, but Peru Unite still ahead as Zinus gets snuffed out.
Zeta Division moving as a full force in this fight, and you have to call out the amazing freezes there from the Suicune on Zeta Division. It's shut them down so many times where you had members of Zeta on a sliver. It gives them enough time for Wajiro to come back in with the Clefable, heal them with that Moonlight. What a fight here as we have Vitopo almost at level 15. And I have to say, a level 15 Charizard is quite a bit more powerful than a level 15 Leafeon. Both incredible Pokemon, but Leafeon gets more of its value early, Charizard later, and it's later, Doom Snacks. We are 15 seconds until Rayquaza.
Quietly, the Blastoise is level 13. Tommy's going in. We've got 5 seconds till Ray. No, they fade back the engagement, but everybody kind of knows where each other is.
Yeah, they're looking for them right here as Rob is actually getting very aggressive. Wants to charge up that Mewtwo Unite. They know that they can head
they're trying to set up a trap
with teleport right here, but they decide to just move right out of this fight. They need to engage. Peru doesn't want to take this fight until they can get Zeta to expend some very important resources in their Unite moves or pick up a massive catch and get an early KO. You can see Blastoise aggressively positioned in the bottom path right there. If they're going to run into anyone, you would love it to be that tanky Pokemon, right? They do not want Wajiro to go down or Vitopo to go down before they get to use their Unite move. Rayquaza being chipped up right now. Ron moving forward, charging up their Mega. They're looking for their opportunity to fight, and they do need to take this fight, Doom Snacks.
Wajiro's positioning, they're chipping in, waiting for this engagement. We're spinning to win, we pump on 3. Dragon has to Rebel Rouse to make sure Rock Tomb, X-Scissor into the wall, does get a stun, and now everybody split up. The chase is different, Mewtwo Y does a ton of damage. We have the Emerald 2-step coming out by Anemo, and they actually have to retreat, and now everything's settling out for just a moment, but Dragon's left on an island. Are they gonna be able to get this knockout?
And here they go, moving forward right here. Rayquaza being chipped, Tempo looking for it with the Metal Claw going after Vitopo.
Oh, X-Scissor into the wall, that stuns everybody. Plus assistance, Hydro Typhoon. 3 players down for Zeta Division. Whoa! The Ice Age is out, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think, as Peru Unite is on the chase. 4 players down. It's just Tomato. Peru wipes the squad, and they're going to score here. They're not even worried about Ray, and the Mewtwo jumps to the middle.
Wow, I mean, once again, Peru not able to take Rayquaza against Zeta, but it doesn't matter. 106-461. Peru is going to tie this thing up here in game number 2. For the first time ever, by the way, Doom Snacks, in a World Championship Grand Finals, we have got a brawl. These are often won in a 3-0 victory in convincing fashion, and we are tied up, getting ready for game number 3.
Just the prospect of getting a game 4 for us is electric. Well done. These teams are fighting forever. I love it.
Oh, man. Peru, what a turnaround from game 1. Zeta on the back foot, and this has happened to Zeta before. It's a dangerous place for them. They have dominant game ones, and then they start to get figured out by their opponents here. Peru taking game number 2, putting Zeta in a really tough position. Now Zeta is going to have to react to how Peru wants to play it. I can tell you one Pokemon that seems to be the difference maker in these games, that Leafeon. That early pressure is unbelievably important.
Unequivocally, Leafeon is a factor here in this game, which raises the question, is it warranting a first pick at this point? Is it warranting a ban at this point? But I hope we see the clip at the end. Kraken was playing out of his gourd in the last 2 minutes.
That fight.
It was banana lands because the engagement was from Zeta Division, and they were staying on their feet the whole time. What a match! What a match!
Yeah, such an incredible one. Closer than game number 1, I would say, where Zeta felt like they were in control. This was going back and forth, even though Peru did have some amazing moments. As we head towards our Ray fight right here, we could see some of these big engagements. This was that push right before Ray from Zeta, all moving as a unit, picking up another double KO.
Here it is, here. Bang, bang, bang.
Scissor hitting 3, but look at this full team freeze we're going to see from Tomato right here. I think they get all 5 in that Unite. One of the best in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, although it was a perfect Suicune Unite, it was not enough to overcome the triple X scissor into the wall with the Anemo engagement.
There you have Anemo, the MVP of that game on the Leafeon. Looks like Leafeon is picking up MVPs all over the place here in our grand finals. 88,000 damage, 9 knockouts, and the thing that you really can't see on the scoreboard is how unbelievably strong it is early, allowing your entire team to move forward, your entire team to be aggressive, your entire team to take more and more experience away from your opponents.
I can't say enough about this Leafeon specifically, on whomever has it. It seems to just ball out of control. Leafeon so strong, 9 knockouts. I think I had, what, 10 or 12 the game before. This is a difference maker, and I think these teams need to figure out what its role is in the equation and how to contend with it, because only one team can get it, so if you don't want anybody to have it, you gotta ban it.
You know, Doob Snacks, I got to say, it is an absolute treat here to be watching these grand finals in this arena in Anaheim and to have a real fight in front of us. These teams all tied up heading to game number 3. As I mentioned a little earlier, you don't normally see this in the grand finals. One team walks into this thing and they look like the best team in the world, hands down. But this year has been so unbelievably competitive. I think from our top 16 yesterday, just about any squad there could be in this position, had some things went some different ways, right? I mean, we saw so many amazing teams make their way towards these grands, but in a single elimination bracket, you have to win every single time. That's what these two teams did to make it here.
Zeta Division, Peru, representing their regions incredibly well and really hamming it up here now that we are in the arena surrounded by thousands of people, as they are looking to get the next game win and put themselves one step closer to be your Pokemon Unite World Champion.
Yeah, both of these teams can taste it. Obviously, Japan wants to take home another trophy. We've had North America year 1, North America year 2, Japan coming out as the dominant region in year 3, and throughout year 4 here. Every single representative from Japan making it into our top 16, the only region to play this well. The competition in Japan is intense. So for you to be the best team out of there, you might just be the best team in the world.
Undeniable at this point, Spraggles. Let's focus in on where this Game 3 can go between these two teams. You and I have clearly identified Leafeon as a problem. You know they know it's a problem going into Game 3. At this point, does it warrant a ban? Because they're letting every other strong Pokemon that we've talked about all weekend long through.
That's the question, right? Do we start banning this? Is it just that we end up getting this as a first pick and we're going to have to sacrifice some other options? Another Pokemon that's been with it every single time also is that Blissey. Blissey sets up so many amazing moments. I mean, we saw that bowling ball, Blissey coming through with the Bliss assistance. Not only is Leafeon trying to get the secure, they're being given this massive shield, this extra damage, and the huge explosion of damage of Blissey rolling through the fight. So that combination together has secured wins for both of these squads. Maybe if a team has Leafeon but they don't have the Blissey to support it, they're not going to be able to win.
That's a very great point because it needs like dedicated support. And the way the Bliss Assistance works and why we got to see that big bowling ball play is once you click Bliss Assistance on the target of your team that you're going for, if they use their abilities to jettison forward, it drags Blissey the whole way, which is why we could actually see on screen the Blissey and then the deep Leafeon engage and like a big old bus, the Blissey was running through for that help.
Yeah, it's such a powerful play. I still think they're going to take the Comfey away from Zeta. If they allow Zeta into their comfort zone of Zoroark Comfey, I think it could be very dangerous for them. So that's one ban that they have to take away right away. They've obviously been targeting this arena. They do not want to see it. They want to put them on something else. So that leaves Leafeon in this position where if you don't pick it, it can be taken from you, especially if they are the second position in draft.
Yeah, and I think these teams preferred the second position in draft,
well,
right?
Peru did in game number 2, interestingly enough. A lot of teams in that position, when you win a game, you end up deciding whether you want first or second. So if you get first, obviously you get the first bans. You also get the first pick, but a singular first pick, right, as it heads over to the other side for the second and third pick. So clearly, Peru decided, we don't care about this first pick. We know you're going to take Suicune. We have an answer to it, and we want your Leafeon. We want your Blissey.
Right, and if my little cheat screen here is right, it looks like that Zeta has chosen to be on that orange side, that second side. So they want to be in that reactionary position, right? Being able to react to whatever Peru is putting together, and of course, getting that ever valuable, what we like to call the gutter pick, the last pick of the draft, which can really be that big tide-changing Pokemon selection.
Yeah, it could always be tough, right? Some of the later picks are where these teams hide a lot of their powerful strategies, right? They don't want you to see early on what they're going to play because they don't want you to attempt to counter it. So we're going to see how they want to shift things up heading here to game number 3. Obviously, if we have Zeta as a possible second pick, something could happen, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like Zeta is going to be our first pick here.
Okay. So they went ahead and stayed on that. Sorry, the names are different, but the teams are.
We Ron Burgundy the screen. Production, if you have the names flipped around, we will read them wrong 100% of the time.
100%. But Kea, of course, on Peru is on the purple side, first picking Leafeon. You want to talk about Praya right now. We see a Zacian Hoopa pick as well because Kea has been a monster on Hoopa.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of love this. Now, I wonder if Blissey gets stolen and we also see that Suicune, but instead they decide to bring the Buzzwole here into this game, allowing Zeta to pick up Suicune. I don't know if they have a player that really wants this Pokemon, but I think it's one of the strongest in the game, so it would be amazing to steal away.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Zeta Division really asking the question, like, we're not sure you've got a Suicune player or somebody that can really make a difference with it. I'm glad they locked it in because that thing is incredible.
As you can see up on our big stage here, our Pokemon that are locked in are behind our competitors. Being here live in this arena is absolutely next level.
It really is, and I love seeing that too. You can quickly identify who's on what, as Ho-Oh finally being brought into the fray in the Thea Sky Ruins.
Ho-Oh, an unbelievably strong pick, extremely aggressive early as well. It feels a lot like Leafeon in that it's so strong, so fast, it has so many great secure tools for some of these wild Pokemon, and it's so tanky that it's really difficult to take this thing down. Next 2 picks over to Peru right here.
Oh no.
They could be getting into a dangerous territory.
Oh no.
As they do lock in Inteleon, low pick rate. A lot of teams have kind of bounced off this a little bit. And Lucario. Now this is a Pokemon that you and I specifically have not loved seeing from these top teams. Even though they play it at a very high level, it doesn't seem to produce great results.
I agree. While I think Inteleon has been a bit slept on, and Zainuz is a phenomenal historic Inteleon player, Tempo, also a phenomenal player without a doubt, but Lucario has not been it. Actually, some of the games they lost against Luminosity yesterday was on the back of this pick.
Yeah, this is a tough one as we head over to the final pick here. Vitopo grabbing the Dodrio. I have to say, looking at these two squads right here, I feel like they have a very good shot, Zeta, to take down and dismantle Peru. Yes, Peru got that Leafeon, but I feel like Dodrio has a lot of amazing options.
Yeah.
The Inteleon just gets absolutely ripped apart by it. Even Leafeon can kind of get its ankles broken a bit by the three-headed bird here. However, if Suicune can set up some huge plays, that could be massive for them as we head in here to game number 3, our battleground, Thea Sky Ruins. As we are making our way, we see Peru Unite, your purple team, Zeta Division, your orange team, all tied up 1-1 here in our best of 5 grand finals.
Early pressure going on, and we do know how strong this Sobble is early with that water gun secure. How is Zeta Division going to deal with it? Well, they're going to run straight at him. They're going to just A-press them down and get in their face, make them fight for pad, and try and bully them away from that contestable Indeedee, and they are successful.
Yeah, they move forward right now, trying to take some experience away from them, even all the way on their side, but Draken was able to help secure that with Zainus. That, however, taken by Tomato. So you can see more wild Pokemon secured by the side of Zeta Division.
A lot of action up top as Kea went deep into the waters, grabbed both berries, and now we have a knockout up top from Peru as they're scrambling to score. Well done. Kea actually throwing the bunnies that were in path forward, getting a score as well. So good early pressure from them.
Yeah, you can see, I mean, we have the picture-in-picture right there because we have a brawl in top and bottom path over all of this experience. Vitopo now has evolved to Dodrio. The three-headed bird is here, and they're playing that tri-attack, diving in here after they shoot those 3 blasts, able to do a ton of burst damage to their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, going with a deep engagement, boosted auto in, peeling back, but Nemo is right around the corner looking for a target, but it's a Mega Mewtwo Y looking to A-press them down. Tomatoes pushing forward, Vitopo looking for an opportunity. Right on top of the berry is a Nemo. Zainus does go down. Rama's in on the way to the backside, but now the pressure's on Nemo. Though they're on the verge of getting knocked out, and they get it. They get it.
Beautiful stuff right there. Ho-Oh does go down, but the more valuable target, the Leafeon, taken by Zeta, and you can see Dodrio already starting to bully the side of Peru here. 8 seconds until we have the Altaria Swablu spawning in the center of the map here. Tempo picking up a KO, but here comes Vitopo to punish. Kea goes down. Tempo's in some trouble right here, having to peel back to this goal zone. Vitopo now towards the center,
which gives the agency to these middle birds, to Zeta Division. Stepping forward is, of course, this Suicune trying to do their best, eject over the wall just to get away, but Zeta not looking them, let them off the hook right now. Gonna go straight into the central area, gets a knockout on the Dodrio. Peru Unite looking to flip the script here as Tomatoes trying to flamethrower its coverage so Zeta can get out.
And you can see Zeta obviously recognizes that Nemo has that Unite move. They are level 8 on Leafeon, but trying to punish them still. That is the power of that Ho-Oh, the flamethrower, able to do so much damage. Pairing that with their curse item, lowering the healing on the side of Peru. Very strong, especially into something like Clefable with that team-wide healing.
Big rotation by Zeta Division, 4 players on the downside here. Tomei was in the top path coming back through. Snipe shot is online, and that's a big damage dealer here for Peru. Bang, Rom, half HP gone.
Yeah, you can see now that Inteleon is here, these snipe shots can set up huge moments in these fights. Look how much HP is ripped off some very powerful Pokemon. If Zainus can hit a snipe shot right into a Nemo moving in for some of these big fights, they can take huge wins. It also has great secure potential around some of these objectives.
You can body block a snipe shot though, so willing to sacrifice your body for the team might be where the support core needs to go. Chipped up, smackdown, put down, bang, Unite move, and it is taken by Peru. They're gonna keep pushing. Snuffed out.
वाह क्या खतरनाक फाइट्स हो रही। देखो दोस्तों ही क्या लड़ाई मची हुई है। दे लड़ाई दे भिड़ाई दे भिड़ाई दे लड़ाई दे लड़ाई दे लड़ाई।
We obviously had the Leafeon moving in for the secure, and we had the option there from the Inteleon as well, peppering them with the snipe shots, looking to see if they could get that KO, they could get that wild Pokemon, and it looks like Dodrio able to take this all on their lonesome. Right in there,
nice follow me.
What a beautiful play.
Nice follow me into the rolling the block with the Unite move. Gives a little bit of action and space for Nemo to withstand the onslaught, and Vitopo just has to peel back.
Yeah, also Clefable has this incredible power with its Unite that's often overlooked. overlooked, where it recovers a ton of HP to a nearby ally once it hits that Unite move. Really strong. That helps save the Leafeon right there, as we have 4 members of Zeta marching towards the tier 1.
You see Kea getting picked up and dragged to the side of Zeta Division, enough for them to get bullied away. Now that was just a 7-ish over, so Zeta Division does close out a goal zone, but still behind on the scoreboard.
You can see Rom here looking at what they can take away from Peru in that central area, but being pushed out. 164-87, very close match here, but it does feel like Peru, with that early aggression from Leafeon, has had more big moments, as we have Zeta moving down towards this bottom path. We have the side strike right into a teleport to pull Mewtwo wide back.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too much here. Able to walk away is that Clefable, so less than concerned, but at least they got some information.
Unite move on every single member of Peru. We're still waiting for Ho-Oh's Unite. It's very close, but it's not there yet, and Leafeon goes in right away.
Tomy with the smackdown up and down, and now Nemo is gone. Dragon putting the pressure on Mewtwo while Unite is going to see if they can catch some targets. Fading back is Zynus. Pot shot on Tomato. Tons of HP is gone from them, but the push continues. Zeta actually just laying up a nice front line, an offensive line, so they can take this Regirock. Rom eats the Bliss assistance to save them as they're peeling back. Tomy is well able to get towards the rest of the squad, and Peru Unite, no chance.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff there from Zeta, completely zoning out Peru, and after Leafeon goes down, they really could not jump in for that fight. But here comes Peru now, the Aura Cannon looking for it, but no, they fire it the other way, and they miss multiple members of Zeta.
The Suicune Unite didn't trap any players as well. The close combat is going to get a knockout on the Buzzwole in tandem with the snipe shot, and it's Zynus dialing them in. Big old finger pistol, water to your grill, son. Getting knockouts. That one flies a little wide right, Rayfinkel.
Yeah, there we have the snipe shot, where if you don't charge it for long enough, it has a wide area where it can fly. Sometimes those quick charge snipes pick up massive KOs. Other times, you know, they do that.
Big 35 over for Peru Unite. We've seen some very good scraps this game, but Peru Unite up on the scoreboard, up in the experience race.
And look at that moment right there. Leafeon just being incredibly aggressive as they head towards those wild Pokemon in the center, using their Unite move right away, taking them. They recognize that if they can get the KO right here and take the wild Pokemon, they're going to charge that Unite back up pretty fast. Leafeon charges incredibly fast, one of the fastest in Unite, so you can make really aggressive plays.
Look at how Anemo is just trying to get these Indeedee low, so Zynus can just pull back and get the final knockout. Pressure's on though, 3v2, and with Vitopo is there to continue just harassing Peru. How is Ron going to go into this? They're going to keep pushing forward. A bit surprised here as the snipe shot finds Wajiro.
Yeah, I mean, this tier 2 is a great place for Peru to fight, especially without all of the members here of Zeta. And we have not seen huge moments from this Ho-Oh yet. However, as we move towards Rayquaza, if multiple members of Zeta go down, that rekindling flame will allow Ho-Oh to bring them back into this fight. Peru is going to need to manage this Ho-Oh and manage its Unite move. If they can KO it early in this fight, they are in a great position. However, if they're taking multiple members of Zeta down, expending all of their Unite moves, and then Ho-Oh brings them back, this could be deadly for Peru.
Brett is quickly getting worked on by Peru, putting a favorability there as Zeta Division might collapse on them.
Yeah, this is interesting here. Regi's about to go down, but here comes Zeta, secured by Lucario. Tempo in trouble as they're peeling forward. This could be Rayquaza right now.
Vitopo goes straight in, Aura Cannon through to get that shield, and we pop the Clefable Unite as well. No resource expended on the side of Zeta, but Peru Unite is down. Some Unite moves here, specifically the Lucarios and the Clefables.
This is a beautiful play by Zeta. They didn't get the objective, they didn't get a KO, but they stole 2 Unite moves. This is exactly what we talked about right here. If they can get the rest of them and then bring the team back, they are in a great position for Ray. The snipe shots, hitting the Ho-Oh right there, ticking.
Buzzwole eviscerated, huge snipe shot here, and now Zeta Division has to go. Nice, follow me. Suicune Unite, Blizz assistant. Rom continues to pressure on. Hey, pressing him down. The legendary from Gen 1, putting it down. Shot on Vitopo as they're forced to run away, and it's Peru Unite that comes out ahead in that exchange.
Amazing stuff from Peru. They got the Ho-Oh Unite move and shouldn't have one again before the end of the match. All the Unite Unite moves gone from Zeta. A powerful win from Peru. 1 minute left on the scoreboard, and they are up by over 100 points. Even if Dodrio is somehow able to make a back cap happen, Peru is still ahead.
Tomato working on this Rayquaza to try to drag Peru into the middle to open up the opportunity for the Dodrio back cap.
Yeah, and here we have Dodrio looking for the fight right.
Oh, nice flank!
Right
Huge freeze!
Close combat catches two. No KOs happen yet, though.
Oh,
Peru
God.
heals back. They're ahead.
Oh,
38
God.
seconds left. Zeta needs to make a move.
Zynus is single-handedly shutting down Zeta Division.
Nice, कैसे हो गई इनकी?
Oh, God! Lucario's coming alive! They heard us run our mouth, and they said not today! The caster curse is real, and so is this Lucario!
Look at Tempo right here trying to embarrass these two guys in capes on the caster move, saying Lucario's a bad pick. We'll show you a bad pick. 324, 87, more points in. Peru, 1 game away from being your world champions.
Woo!
Yeah.
Peru Unite! Holy, Zynus is an absolute menace! Zynus is an absolute menace!
इनको Mewtwo नहीं लेना चाहिए था भाई.
Wow.
Mewtwo was not meant. क्या कहते हो?
They are on the precipice of becoming a world champion, the first world champion from LATAM.
I don't think भाई इनके पास डैमेज कम हो गया था. Mewtwo की वजह उसकी इंटी ने बहुत खतरनाक डैमेज दिया भाई. इंटी ने ही तो टीम वाइप कर दी पीछे से स्नाइप पेल पेल के. तो बहुत बड़ी गलती है भाई. Mewtwo लेना ही नहीं था. इतने अच्छे अटैकर हैं जो कि मतलब रेंज से भी इंटी को टारगेट कर सकते थे. मतलब अटैकर को निकाल सकता था. डेलफॉक्स ले लेते भाई, मेराइडोन ले लेते है ना. मेराइडोन को स्पीड सर की तरह खेल लेते. Mewtwo was not a good pick. झाट बराबर का डैमेज आया इसके Mewtwo पे.
Heading back into some of our big moments here, you know, one thing that we do have to talk about, and I think needs to be addressed by both of these squads, is this Leafeon.
Mewtwo ने भी डोडो लिया. हाँ, डोडो ने फिर भी वैल्यू निकालने की कोशिश करी यार रे फाइट में. पर ये मेरे को बहुत गलत पिक लगा इनका Mewtwo. होनी चाहिए था Mewtwo. कौन सा चिप है? बनाना चिपूसु.
Yo. Great rekindling flame too, but Zynus was just shutting them down.
Yeah.
You saw this exchange go one way, go the other. Draken steps up, huge freeze, snipe shot on Vitopo. Vitopo can no longer scrap, and then another knockout on Rom. And this is that huge close combat you were talking about, just ripping through, tons of damage. And that's
best of 5. Yeah, far away best of 5.
There is Lucario.
Luca भाई 61,000 डैमेज देके MVP.
MVP Lucario.
बस.
Knockouts, but really what I mean, I think sealed the deal for the MVP right here is where those knockouts came.
Yeah,
right at the end of the match when it mattered most. Moving in, you know, the amazing thing about that power-up punch, once it hits its plus move at 11, you have this unstoppable that you're able to use, even if your opponents are trying to stun you, slow you down. You kind of weather that storm, then move in for the fight. The close combat, able to recover some of your HP, even though you're, you know, close to going down there with Lucario. Beautiful stuff here from Peru. 1 game up, 1 game away from being the world champion. You can hear the cheer in the crowd for Peru.
Mewtwo भाई वैल्यू नहीं निकाला था. Mewtwo की जगह अगर इनके पास वो भी होता ना, मैं तो कहता हूँ फुल हील वाला मेराइडोन, ठीक है, वो भी वो टायर वाला जो टायर बन के भागता है, तो भी ये बहुत अच्छा गेम निकाल सकते थे. बढ़िया उसको ब्लिज़ी देता यूनाइट, वो घुस के ना आराम से डिलीट कर लेता इंटी को. और अगर ऐसा था तो भाई अटैकर लेते ही ना, मैं बिल्कुल ले लेते. बेटर रहता. नहीं बहुत फुट रही है जेटा डिवीजन. तो पिक्स भी हकते रही है, गेम साथ जीतेंगे. ब्लिज़ी फोकस खेल रही. अरे भाई सब व्हाट द फक, ये कौन सी स्ट्रेटजी है? ब्लिज़ी फोकस खेल रही. ले भाई गाइस, 4th मैच ऑफ द गेम स्टार्ट होने वाला है. ये डिसाइडिंग मैच भी हो सकता है और देखते हैं. हाय, ये कौन सा गेम है? जय, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम. क्या हाल? ये भाई पोकेमॉन यूनाइट इसके वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप टूर्नामेंट्स चल रहे हैं, आज फाइनल्स है वर्ल्ड चैम्पियनशिप्स का $2 मिलियन के लिए। ये लोग फिर से जटा की पिक छुटा ली, उन्होंने डबल ऑल ऑर्डर ले लिया।
Without a doubt. And, you know, Tommy, again, yesterday had some really electric games on this Pokemon. It might be a comfort pick for them and somewhere that they need to be to really feel like they can help take over a game. And Blissey, with both of the Pokemon they've selected already, is a great strategy.
पता नहीं भाई जटा को ब्लेसी से क्या ऑप्शन है, क्लफा भी तो ले सकते हैं जब बैन नहीं हुआ क्लफा पे, क्लफा ले लेते भाई। क्या कहते हो गाइस? ये ब्लेसी तो बड़ा खतरनाक है भाई, फोकस खेलता है, रेस्क्यू हुडी खेल लेता है, इससे अच्छा जब इसको हील ही देना होता तो। वैसे इस गेम तो ब्लेसी इनका वो खेलेगा सेफ गार्ड, क्योंकि सामने वो है ना स्टन। हाँ इसके हिसाब से सही है, क्योंकि ना अभी ब्लेसी को देखो हील नहीं देना ना, स्टन है सामने बहुत ज्यादा है ना, तो ब्लेसी को अभी सेफ गार्ड देना तो फिर चल जाएगा फोकस, एंड तक सर्वाइव करते रहेगा वो जब तक सेफ गार्ड नहीं मिल जाता नहीं तो। What the fuck? 3 ऑलराउंडर एक अटैकर, ये और ये चूतिया डबल स्पीड सर क्यों लेते हैं भाई? ये जेटा वेटा वाले पगला रहे हैं क्या? ये 2 स्पीड सर से मारेंगे किसको? वहाँ सुअर कॉम्प नहीं दिख रहा है एकदम, अटैकर ही नहीं है भाई, तो हार जाएंगे गेम 100% गया गेम। फिक्स में हक देता है बहन के, डबल स्पीड सर खेल रहे हैं, कौन मरेगा सामने देख के बताओ, किसको मारोगे डबल स्पीड सर से? म्यूटू भाग जाएगा, बोल तो तुम्हारा बाप भी नहीं मार सकता, और नहीं मार सकता, सुकून नहीं मार सकता। ऊपर से डैमेज डीलर बस यही है, 2 स्पीड सर 1 गार्चॉन, मटका हो गया ये गेम 100%। अगर तो मटका सिक्योर मिला तो चल जाएगा, और तो क्या की भाई मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा, इतने टैंक के बंदों को मेल्ट कौन करेगा भाई? सजोर को कौन मेल्ट करेगा? अटैकर ही नहीं है।
Team. These are your Pokemon Unite World Championship Grand Finals. Zeta needs to win 2 in a row to make this happen.
क्या ख्याल है यार भाई? अटैकर जो है ना,
poor little Dragon, little Dwooble looking good with that whipped cream and strawberry on top, getting pressured by Tomato and coming pretty successful here in the face of the big lax.
Yeah, nice plays there from Peru. They're able to get the focus band off of Tomato early. That's going to mean that Zeta is not going to be as aggressive there with the Snorlax, but no, focus band right the other way. So both defenders giving up a huge item early that's going to need a lot of time to recharge.
Well done, pressure early by Zeta Division, decent secures, Draken doing their best as well, as we've got some parity here. Up top, we've got Scyther hanging out, looking to make their impact felt.
Yeah, Scyther in the top path.
What do you guys think? What's going to happen?
We are taking a look at Zinus and Draken here in the bottom.
5 के हो गए, 2 बंदे इनके हैं, इनके एक ही बंदा। ऊपर तो दिखाओ क्या हो रहा, बेस पे कुटाई हो गई, ब्लेसी खत्म हो गया, क्या बॉट पाथ दिखा रहे हैं भी, ऊपर ब्लेसी डाउन तक हो गया। गार्चॉन चूतिया 4 लेवल का, वो भी लेन गार्चॉन पे, कैसे गधे हैं भाई। लीफियन ले मां छोड़ दी उसने, म्यूटू ने ले 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 डबल स्पीड चल ले। साइथर व्हाट द हेक, साइथर खेल रहा है वो स्पीड सर को चेस करके मारने के लिए ना, तो साइथर यूनाइट देके डिलीट कर सकता है किसी को भी, लीफियन को या रैपिडैश को, पता है? एक यूनाइट को खेला खत्म, 1 डैमेज डीलर गायब। देखना भाई वो बहुत खतरनाक डोमिनेट कर रहे हैं। ये हक दिया साइथर ने, सब बेल दिया साइथर को।
Massive for
लेवल में
Pookie
देखिए
right there, committing to that fight, taking down the site. They're stealing away those powerful buffs and all of that experience. You definitely don't want to.
पर भाई कॉम के सबसे एडवांटेज बहुत ज़्यादा है पेरू के पास, सही खेल गए तो पेल देंगे।
Moving through the center area is this Galarian Rapidash here, looking to make a difference. We'll see what Reggie gets prioritized by these two squads.
Pretty close here in the bottom path between these two squads here.
कूद भी किस पे रहा है भाई ये रैपिडेश,
Dual wing beat is there. Rom gets bullied out, but the split is
असल
back
में
the other way.
कूद रहा है
Look at
भाई,
these birds. Kea
बंदे
is
हैं।
fighting the good fight here. 2v1. Can they get Tommy?
ऑलमोस्ट उसने पेल लिया था।
Good seal the deal by Vitopo. Pressure continues.
सही तरह निकाल दिया इसको, बीसी डाउन कर दिया, 9 का हो गया भाई। साउथ गेम डोमिनेट हो जाएगा इसी पॉइंट से लेकर, अगर अच्छा खेला तो। तो फट दिया, ले बैठ गई, ले बस बोल ने बजा दिया। क्या ये क्या इजेक्ट मारता है, बेसिकली कनेक्ट नहीं होते रहा, ये कैसा इजेक्ट है, अच्छा इजेक्ट ही ना मारता। अब ये लेवल दे देगा, मरेगा मरेगा, लेवल दे जाएगा, ले गया लेवल, सही तरफ जैसे ले गया, निकाल दिया बहुत बढ़िया।
right there, a smart strike on Anemo, stopping them from continuing their dash towards that Leafeon. Beautiful play there from Galarian Rapidash.
मैं उसको लीफियन को मार देना था, लीफियन लेवल ले गया उसको।
Okay, oh, heavy slam there on the Mewtwo Y. Big Mewtwo Y Unite. Is the rest of the team going to follow up? And Nemo is here to try and close the door on Tomato. They're putting the pressure on.
Mewtwo Y पे तो कोई पहुंच ही नहीं पा रहा, क्यों ले रखें 2 स्पीड सर, ऐसे तैसे करा लो, 2 स्पीड से ले किस लिए रखें भाई। म्यूटू तो पीछे से बजा है आराम से, उस तक तो कोई पहुंच नहीं पा रहा, लिया किसके लिए ये स्पीड सर।
Waiting in the tall grass for members of Peru to come back. Draken has gone down, but Vitopo has not yet found their mark.
Vitopo wanting to get
एक बार भी नहीं मारा अभी तक म्यूटू।
take care of Kea because Nikea's level 9 is sitting on pad right now. Quick rotation.
पेरू WCS चैंपियन 100% लग ही रहा है। अरे ना कॉम्प में हक दिया जटा ने, मटका करके जीत सकते हैं। सिक्योर भी तो क्या ही है, गे लोगों के पास एक गार्चोम सिक्योर है, बस लीफियन का यूनाइट कर रहा तो।
Recognizing that they were going to be in trouble. Anemo right here, just being taken down in a huge way from that Galarian Rapidash.
Yeah, I mean now we're just kind of fading each other almost. Right? The scoreline's
अभी ये बस यही तो बकचोदी कर रही है, अकेले घुस के लीफियन डाउन नहीं कर पाओगे, सेफगार्ड ब्लिसी है, यही तो बेवकूफ़ी है। बस बोल देखना हीरो बनने के चक्कर में 2 KO दे गए, 12 लेवल का लीफियन करा दिया, वो गांड मान लेगा। इसी को तो नोबनेस बोलते हैं भाई, ये बस गुस्सा क्यों था, नहीं समझ आ रहा मेरे को तो। ये पेरू की टीम लड़कियों की टीम है क्या?
No, you're exactly right. And they put good pressure on Tempo.
वैसे इनमें दिमाग कम होता है,
Where they were, so they couldn't step
इसलिए
up.
पेरू वाले कुट रहे हैं इस गेम।
Trying to adjust on the map in the best way possible.
भाई लोंडो का स्किल लेवल ज़्यादा होता है, नॉट बीइंग अ रेसिस्ट है।
to get a score in to pick up a massive KO. Anemo hiding in that tall grass here, recognizing that
हाँ भाई हेलो हेलो पीजी भाई, वेलकम टू स्ट्रीम। क्या हाल है, क्या लगता है पीजी भाई कौन जीतेगा, क्या लगता है पीजी भाई, क्या लगता है, क्या ख्याल है? यार कॉम बहुत अच्छा था, पेरू के ऊपर हग रहे हैं ये सब बढ़िया चीज़। ले भाई ले भाई ले, उस तरह से लगे 3 पेल लिए। ऐसी फाइट अगर ने रे में कर दी ना भाई, खत्म खेल हो जाए। ले भाई भाई साहब जी 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 जी
Who doesn't?
जी भाई क्या हाल है?
Doesn't just leave it up to Crussell.
I mean, I guess we need to start all of a sudden. Peru here now in a great position. They're ahead on the scoreboard. They need to make sure that they charge up their Unite moves, but they've won a lot of these fights, even with the Leafeon on the other side. It is not.
Still भाई अभी पेरू लीड में है। बस तब इसमें गुस्सा आया था, घूम के आया अपनी बंदी के साथ, उसके बाद अब मूड खुशी खुशी हो गया। क्या बात की भाई, कोई बात नहीं, चलो ये वन रैंक पुश करेंगे मैं तो मैंने पीडी भाई। ये फाइनल्स खत्म ही होने वाले हैं, 2 गेम बचे हैं बस। अगर जटा ने वो करा तो ये गेम निकाल लिया तो फिर होगा गेम, वरना तो गेम खत्म है गेम के बाद। मुश्किल ही लग रहा है मेरे को, कहीं से भी नहीं लग रहा कि जटा निकाल पाएगी। फाइनल मैच है क्या ये टूर्नामेंट का? यस, बॉटम ऑब्जेक्टिव ले जाएंगे आराम से। एक्स्ट्रा फिजिकल डिफेंस,
recognizing that they can't contest it. Instead, getting some aggressive positioning around Ray. It could be their final Ray. Japan's last.
अगर ये फाइट फेंक देंगे तो कुछ हो सकता है।
Buzzwole misses right here. They decide to push forward and then peel back. Tempo looking for a catch with some of their powerful moves. If they can make it happen, they could win the entire thing. Can they get that Leafeon? Can they get that Rapid Ash? If they do, the dominoes will start falling.
तो मैं रेंज है नहीं कोई बात, पूरे के पूरे मिली मॉन्स ले रखे हैं बेवकूफ ने। बंदूक ये देख, ये भाई बजोल मरते मरते बच गया। ये सुअर हरवा देगा बंदों को। ये देख मुझे, ये कौन सा राउंड चल रहा है पीजे भाई? ये चल रहा है फाइनल्स का। देखो पेरू 2 जीत चुकी है, जटा 1 जीती है, और जटा ये गेम भी शायद हारने वाली क्योंकि जटा ने कॉम्प फक दिया बहुत खतरनाक वाला। अब देखो घुस गया घर चौंक, बजोल घुस गया। ले बहन किसी यूनाइट दे दिया, बड़ी दे दिया। ले भाई क्रसल तो खतरनाक ही खेल रहा है। हाँ छोटी जटा की ले 3 बंदे ऑलरेडी डाउन कर दिया। अगर वो मेल्ट भी कर देंगे खत्म हो गया भाई खेल। जटा भाई बब्बा है, हक दो कॉम्प में हो गए तुम WCS से बाहर। एक मौका था कमबैक करने का, वो भी हक दिया ऑलमोस्ट। सिक्योर तो इसका पापा भी ना ले पाएगा, इतना स्टन है। ले मैं खत्म भाई खत्म, हक दिया। हम भी 5 में ये कॉम्प ट्राई करें, कर सकते हैं, बिल्कुल करेंगे। कर दिया खेल, खत्म कर दिया। परू ने खत्म कर दिया खेल। चूतियों ने कॉम्प ही अगर रखा है भाई, अटैकर ही नहीं ले रहे बेवकूफ सुअर के पल्ले। डबल स्पीड से ले रखा है, सोच लो ट्रिपल ऑलराउंडर के अगेंस्ट। इतना ज्यादा दिमाग है इन लोगों में। थोड़ी के नोड़ो VC आता है तो भी भाई विनर पर। यस भाई वो अपनी गलती से ही आ रहे हैं, उन्होंने बहुत हग्गू कॉम्प लिया था, एकदम सुअर कॉम्प। ले भाई परू इज द वर्ल्ड चैंपियन। खत्म हो गया भाई खेल। भाई वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम, क्या हाल? ज़ेटा चूत गया। गू खा लिया टोपो है। स्पीड सर प्लेयर कॉम्प नहीं सही रखोगे तो क्या कर लोगे? चलते बनो भाई। छी भाई छी भाई छी भाई छी भाई।
No words. We've gotten to watch this team over the last 2 years come so close and fall just a bit shy, whether it was LG or any other team that managed to end their run. There is nothing that was going to deny Peru Unite.
After you see them take down their rival in Luminosity yesterday, you recognize that this team was the team to watch. Could they stop Japan? The best in the world. We're here in Game 4. They were able to do just that. As we are taking a look at some big moments from that match, and the crowd is cheering them on up here on the big stage. Just such an incredible story, such an incredible run from them.
God.
Having to not only defeat the Giants from North America, but then the best team out of Japan. You couldn't have a harder run to become the world champion.
Draken is insane, dude. He's so good at this game, man.
Quadra from Crystal.
I mean, and this was it, right? Just a huge engagement, getting into the deep waters, 3 players down. Tomato is doing their best. And tip of the cap to Vitopo for giving their team a chance, but there was nothing that Peru was going to let deny them this game.
What an amazing game.
Yeah, yes. My life for a Crustle MVP. My life for Draken to get the flowers in this moment. Wow.
Unbelievable. You often see it. It's a Leafeon, it's a Zoroark, but today the MVP of the World Championships is the Crustle. We're going to throw it up to the big stage where Zoinks is waiting with your champs. Take it away, Zoinks.
Hey.
Welcome to the stage where we have your champions of Pokemon Unite all over the world, Peru! All right, we got to hear from this team. An amazing grand finals, and you had a rematch against this team. It was phenomenal. But the first question, how good does it feel from top 4 last year now to the world champions this year?
¿Qué se siente subir de un top 4 del año pasado a finalmente ser campeones mundiales?
La verdad, palabras no son las que puedo expresar, solo emociones. Como pueden ver, estoy muy emocional y muy contento. La verdad que al fin todo el esfuerzo que yo y mi equipo, mi familia, hemos hecho desde hace tantos años.
There are no words. As you can see, I only have emotions. I'm extremely excited. I'm happy. All the consistency, all the training that my team had, and the support from my family, it's just, I have no words.
All right, well, you had a lot of support out here on the crowd, but we know that the 5 of you have been supporting each other for a long time. You played together as a team for years now. How good does it feel to win on stage with this 5 players?
Los 5 se han estado apoyando mutuamente por varios años. ¿Qué se siente que ustedes 5 son los que están ganando en campeonato mundial?
La verdad, haber cumplido este sueño con mis amigos es algo que hemos estado presionando desde hace mucho tiempo. Y ahora que lo hemos consagrado, estamos muy contentos con nuestro desempeño y esperamos ir dándole mucha felicidad a toda la gente de Latinoamérica.
I'm just extremely excited and extremely happy to be able to win this championship with my friends. And I hope that I can keep bringing happiness to Latin America.
Amazing. All right, well, you were able to win in front of all of these people in the arena, but I know you have a lot of people watching at home and supporting Peru from afar. So, anything to say to all the fans here in the arena and all around the world?
¿Algo más que quieras decirle a tus fans y a todos los que te están viendo alrededor del mundo?
Sí, muchas gracias a todos los que están haciendo retransmisiones, a todos los que nos mandan mensajes. Sé que no les respondo a todos, es muy complicado a veces, pero siempre los veo, siempre los leo. Estoy atento a cada mínimo apoyo que ustedes nos dan, a mí y a mis compañeros. Siempre los tengo presentes a todos. Así que muchas gracias por apoyar a mi equipo, en las buenas y en las malas.
I'm extremely grateful to all of our fans. I know that you're all sending us messages and sometimes I cannot reply, but know that I'm always reading them. Thank you for your support.
Amazing. All right, one more time for your Pokemon Unite World Champions! Spraggles, Doomsnacks, back to you.
Zoinks, thank you to Peru Unite for putting on an incredible grand finals. A little upset at production won't let us on stage because they think we'll do too much cape stuff, and I think they're probably right about that. That was the best grand finals we have ever seen for Pokemon Unite. Again, most of the time you see these grands, one team is just heads and shoulders above the other, but what a match between these two titans.
Yeah, as this game continues year in, year out, you see the skill disparities and just the talent disparities shrink across all of these regions. And now we just had a great team from the West square off against a great team from the East. West comes out ahead here in Pokemon Unite Championships Year 4, but this is not going to stop Japan from roaring back.
Yeah, they're just such an unbelievably strong region. They have been incredible since their year where they won the World Championship, showing up here at Worlds as the best region by
all
far.
4 teams making it to day 2.
Yeah, all 4 of their squads that qualified for Worlds make it to day 2, where you look at a region like North America with very powerful teams, only 2 making it through. You look at other regions like APAC having a few teams move through. Japan being that strong, steel sharpening steel over there, but it still wasn't enough to take down one of the greatest threats in the game. Peru has been that since their win at AOS Cup a few years ago, and they've always been so close. They got so close last year, getting very deep towards those grand finals, but they just couldn't make it. As we're going to take a look at some of the big moments here from our grand finals, Doob Snacks.
Beautiful walkout here. Oh, didn't know we were going to be. Oh, that's a cape thing. I honestly thought that was me.
You thought that was happening live.
I thought that was happening.
I want everyone to know Doob Snacks thought what we're seeing right now was live, and he was trying to become himself.
It was crazy work. I was like, why are they taking the camera shot from mine? Anyways, doesn't matter. Peru Unite, absolute clinic here, but it was them really taking advantage of this second game.
Yeah, I mean, massive stuff from Zeta in game number 1, and I think you really have to shout them out. They showed Peru that Leafeon was one of the most important Pokemon to pick, and it wasn't until Peru started stealing it away and then looking for counters for it later in this series that they really came online.
You know, we've been wrong about a lot of Pokemon this weekend, but one thing we did absolutely nail is the impact of Crustle, and Peru Unite really making it work here. This, I'm not going to harp on Lucario because that made us look bad, especially Zoinks.
I wouldn't bring that up again.
But what an execution plan that Peru had here in this third game.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And you have to really give it up to Peru. That was that moment where they could hear the crowd cheering their name, which was pretty incredible here. I do have to also give it up to them picking one of their best Pokemon, really the signature Pokemon from this team, Scyther, and bringing it here to the grand finals, winning their way was amazing. Crustle with a 4 KO. Wow.
You know, we kicked off the show by saying 2 players to watch on Peru were Kea and Draken. And you know what? Maybe we're right more than we think we are. But really, Anemo, Draken, Kea, this whole squad, Zainu stepping up, getting it done, and making themselves, earning themselves that world championship.
Let's take a look at the story this weekend, Doops Next. Obviously, we had an incredible group stage, and out of that, we got this top 16 bracket. And look at the diversity in these regions here. This just shows how strong this game is worldwide. Stamina Esports from Latin America North, Peru Unite from LatAm South. We had Aegis Flames on a legendary run out of Brazil, taking down the ACL winners, Insomnia from Japan.
Yeah, and Nouns Esports Talon, Noun 2-0, finds themselves against Luminosity 2-1 in what was maybe one of the matches of the weekend there.
Insane set.
LG taking care of QT Dig to find themselves in that spot. Look, our quarterfinals, our top 8 had 8 different regions. There was no parity across the board. It was one and done for each one of these. And Peru Unite from LatAm South, of course, your Unite champions.
You know, I know a lot of people thought maybe in year 3 we would see something like this out of Peru, right? They were looked at as one of the best in the world. They shocked everyone at EUIC, coming in there and absolutely dominating, even taking down the team they just faced off against right now. Formerly Kabi-chan's, currently Zeta Division in those grand finals, and somehow they have done it again, you know, staying together as a squad, continuing to work on that relationship. Throughout this year, as I've been watching Peru, I think they've had some stumbles. And in fact,
हेलो गाइस, आवाज़ आ रही है क्या?
moments where they were behind, but no
आवाज़ आ रही है? चलो भाई, अब हम इस वाले विंडो कैप्चर को बंद कर देते हैं because that was it for the tournament. Huge blunders made by मैं इसी में आ गया हूँ made by this team. अब अपन करेंगे अपना रेगुलर स्ट्रीम का भाई $2 मिलियन मिल रहा है, मजाक थोड़ी नहीं है, बहुत होता है $2 मिलियन, वो भी गेम के लिए। नॉइस, तो अच्छी चीज़ है कि वो फॉरेन टूर्नामेंट्स हैं, इंडियन डेवलपमेंट तो बहन 50% टैक्स धर लेती उसमें से। लो बहन के तुम्हारा चले ना चले, टैक्स तो पहले। 2 मिलियन में से 1 मिलियन सीधा टैक्स ले बेंच। Piddu peoples, now I can see you perfectly. चलो इधर अपन अपनी नॉर्मल स्ट्रीम चालू करते हैं। गेम खेलोगे पीजी भाई? और सॉरी यस, अपन भी यार टूर्नामेंट का प्रैक्टिस करते हैं पीजी भाई अपने ओजी प्लेयर्स के साथ। मैं तुम पीडी एंड भाई, मैं आपको पर्सनली इनवाइट दे रहा हूँ, आता हूँ। पूयू आ जाओ, बिल्कुल पूयू ही आ रहे हैं भाई, पूयू ही आ रहे हैं। पर्सनली वीसी आ जाओ, बिल्कुल आते हैं पीजी भाई। पितौड़े आवाज आ रही है? सर लाओ ओ पितौड़े, ए पिद्दू। भाई अभी जाओ, बस रुको रुको रुको, अपन ये सेट कर लें पीजी भाई, स्क्रिप्ट वगैरह। कौन से वीसी में हो पीजी भाई? दो इनवाइट। अरे वाह क्या बात है, ओसल भाई के सर्वर में हो, क्या बात कर रहे हो? अरे क्या बात गाइस, हेलो। आओ 5 मैन खेलते भाई, खेल रहे हो क्या पीडी भाई? अरे ओसल भाई क्या हाल है? एकदम बढ़िया। पीजी भाई ने इनवाइट दिया मेरे को, पीजी भाई कहते भाई कि भाई आओ 5 मैन खेलते हैं। चलो पीजी 3 मैन खेल रहे हो क्या? 5 मैन खेल लेते हैं अपन, आते हैं। एक मिनट रुको ना। तो कोई अल्ट्रा का है अपने पास लेट यूज लाटिया स्पैम करने के लिए? कोई नहीं है, ले भैंस की, फिर तो सिस्टम हैंग। डन डन डन, कोई नहीं, क्या कर सकते। मैं टाइटल चेंज कर लूँ स्ट्रीम का फिर तब तक।